Dexter Williams, and on everyone's left is defensive lineman Marcus Patterson. Coach, if you would, maybe just start us off with a quick statement recapping spring and the practice today, and then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good spring game for the most part. We tried to limit some of the reps just to take some of that wear and tear off the guy's body. They've been doing a really good job these last 14, 15 practices, making sure they're taking care of one another. So it's kind of an abbreviated section of a scrimmage type mindset. Got about 30, 35 plays in, give or take. And then also, too, we got a chance to get some special teams work in as well. So overall, I thought it was a good day from the standpoint of staying healthy and making sure we can continue to clean up some of the finer things that we try to implement this entire spring.
And guys, if you could just raise your hand and for the continuing knowledge of Coach, and then certainly the players who can kind of say who you are and what publication you're with, that'll help. Go ahead.
Man, go ahead, Crush Sports Talk. Coach, talk about the overall new regime, new time for you. How was this spring for you up to this point?
Yeah, it was a great time to get acclimated, just to kind of see the lay of the land, just some of the things logistically that we have to kind of face as a kind of a new program, so to speak. But also, too, it was a great time for an evaluation. It just kind of gave you a chance to address some of the needs that we were going to need going forward as a program. But also, too, what we do have in-house that we're going to try to continue to emphasize. We have some talented football players, guys that were already here, and some guys that we brought in. So we've been really pleased with our incoming guys and with the guys that decided to remain on the roster. Obviously, going forward, we got to try to continue to improve our depth. That's one of the things of concern. We got to make sure we got enough quality bodies to go out there and compete in this league and Conference USA. But from an overall standpoint, I was really impressed. Was really pleased with the way the guys competed. A lot of those guys, it was something new, something different that they had never seen, that they had never been introduced before. Especially the schemes are so different whenever you turn over with a coaching staff. But I was really pleased with the way those guys tried to attack every day and tried to get a little bit better.
How did you feel the overall were able to adapt to what you want, speed-wise, practice-wise, play-wise? How do you feel like they did overall in the spring? What you're looking for in this team?
Yeah, I think it's all about just an introduction. We talked about it when we came up as a team. This was kind of the first quarter, it's the springtime, and just kind of making sure that, as we move forward to the second quarter, which is the summer conditioning and the summer session, our operations have to get a lot better. The details that we kind of trying to put in place, they have to continue to grow if we're going to take that next step forward. So from a standpoint of the first quarter, I would consider we won the first quarter, right? But it's 4-quarter games. So we got to continue to play and continue to get better each week and throughout the summer.
Coach Campbell from the Sentinel. We saw all 5 quarterbacks play today. Talk us through how that unit has progressed over the spring and who and what stood out to you today.
I think the unit has continued to impress. I think back to really our first time we got a chance to line up 11 on 11 and do some things at the beginning of March to, as we ended it today. The operations were a lot faster moving up and down the field as we transitioned from play to play. I was really pleased with some of those things that we did. I do think from a growth standpoint, just be better decision makers with the ball in our hand. I saw quarterbacks play with a little bit more poise week in and week out. At the beginning of spring, I think we were making catastrophic decisions as far as mishandling the football, a lot of interceptions, a lot of bad ball mechanics. But now, as the spring progressed, it cleaned up. Not a whole lot of interceptions. We limited those, and that's what we want to try to do: take care of the football, protect the football, and just allow the game to come to us more than anything else. So I did see that growth in all those quarterbacks this spring.
Sure, we saw a lot out of 2 transfer backs today, Coleman and Channing. How has that acclimation period been for them, and what can you tell us about what they bring to the table?
Coleman has done a really good job of kind of coming in, just being a leader more than anything else. He's played a lot of football in his career. He's been in college a long time, and he's just seen a lot of different things. He's had some ups and he had some downs. So for him to come in here, that leadership quality, that kind of grown man mentality, like I like to say, like that has really helped out those room, and he's helped the entire offense. I think both of those guys, having been in school a little bit and transferred in, they got a chance to see kind of how we do things. So, understanding the routine, the day-to-day routine is not foreign to them.
For Dexter, you've been in the college football world for, a couple of years now. How has these first couple of months been? How has the process looked for you?
Oh man, it's been great. Getting adjusted with these new guys, I couldn't ask for a better group of people to do this with. So this spring was all about for myself, and I had a goal for the whole offense to just grow from day one. So from January when we first got here to today, I think we've taken a step, but like Coach said, we still gotta steps to take. Like we still got 3 quarters and a whole year to finish. So.
Coach, you're talking about first quarter, second quarter is the summer. When you're talking about conditioning and moving on toward the regular season, what does the schedule look like as far as getting the guys ready from here?
Yeah, so the next step is, obviously exit meetings this next couple of weeks. Just kind of giving a guy understanding and a full scope of where he stands in the program and what he needs to do to improve to help our football team more than anything else. Then as you transition to that summertime, late May, June, July, is really about the training, getting their bodies ready for the season that's ahead of them, making sure our strength and conditioning coach, we're going to have a big summer, a big strength and conditioning staff this summer with a lot of interns and full-time guys that's coming into the building, trying to do a little bit more one-on-one with those guys. Details is from a scheme standpoint. We have a different type of install that goes in the summertime, how we try to build on the things that we put in the springtime. So those are the next kind of phases of the program. This kind of next step.
What, exit interviews, want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Always going to be some movement with the portal and all that stuff. How active do you feel like you might need to be in that area to kind of supplement all the freshmen that are about to come in?
Yeah, I think every college football program is going to be active. There's a couple of things, moving parts. It's going to come down the pipe here. With the House settlement coming in, that means that we're going to have to make that cut to 105 potentially. That's going to be important for us to get our roster size right. There are going to be guys that feel like this is a situation they would like to be in, so they might want to move on as well to something a little bit different. And then obviously the third part of it is us too. This has been an interview process for not only them, but it's been an interview process for us. So, we're going to make some decisions to try to move on from some guys probably as well. That's just the nature of college football, though. We're all in this deal trying to figure out the best situation for us and our families, both player and coach.
When you look at everything that's gone on this spring, I think we talked earlier, you said maybe we get, by the time we get to fall, maybe you've got 50-60% of your stuff installed. Are we on track for that? Ahead of that? Where are we right now?
Yeah, I think we're on track for that. I think the biggest part of is what we want to accomplish in the spring was putting it all on the wall and seeing what we are good at and what we need to continue to improve at and probably what is not for us. Those are 3 biggest things that we try to come out of the spring trying to figure out, just trying to put guys in position to be successful. That means that we have to pull back on some of the schemes and some of the thoughts that we had going forward. It is what it is. But I really feel like we have enough football plays in to go out there and win a football game. Now it's just a matter of making sure we fine tune those details.
Last thing for me, it looked like there were the only ones in red jerseys were the quarterbacks. That may have been by design, but how are we health-wise heading into the summer? Everybody going to be available come fall?
Yeah, I think we're in a good place, in the spring. That's one of the things in spring. You want to try to stay healthy as possible. And I feel good about where we're at health-wise. We have some soft tissue injuries, hamstrings, groins, things like that. But all those things, once again, teaching these guys how to take care of their bodies a little bit better. And us as an administration, as a staff, making sure we put some things in place to help that process as well.
Aaron Ladd with Atlanta News First. We've seen some schools kind of do away with their spring game or take it behind closed doors. Why was it so important for you to have one in front of fans here and have people out watching?
Yeah, I do think it is kind of a reward for the guys. One thing, just to make sure they get a chance to get in front of their friends, their family. For the last couple of months, they come home during spring break. Some of their bodies have changed, so the families want to see them go out there and do a great job and see kind of what they've been doing. I think the second part of it is being a new coach, new program, making sure the community gets a chance to get out and see us some. Right, we want to make sure that this area understands that Kennesaw State, we're playing a good brand of football, and we want to embrace people coming out, recruits. We want more recruits on campus just so they can see and feel us as well. So it was a marketing tool. Obviously, it's a reward for our players. So many different things come. There's a lot of things going on Kennesaw State campus. We got a softball game going on, baseball game going on opposite campus. So just the energy surrounding the university right now, I wanted the guys to be able to enjoy and embrace that.
Reggie
Reggie Chapman, 11 Live TV here in Atlanta. both players. What has it been like working with coaches? This new era has kind of been underway over the spring, and the direction is kind of headed as well.
I mean, when I came in, I didn't even get to meet any of the players. I solely only got to meet the coaches, and that's really what encouraged me to be here. Just the culture that they were trying to build and exactly who they were as men. And it's something that I wanted to follow. So it's been really great transitioning here, and they've done a really good job getting us ready.
Same thing like Marcus said. When I came on my visit, didn't get a chance to meet with any players, but just coaches. But being in there with Coach Mack and Coach Mitch, and every guy that we had on staff at that point, it was clear that they had a vision. Like that's in our culture. So sacrifice, passion, vision. But they had a vision of where they wanted this place to be. And I've seen the product that they put on the field before, and I was really confident in what I thought we could do this spring and what we will do in the fall.
Anything else for the guys?
Yeah, Coach Jeremy York, Impact Media. What is the message you're trying to get across to this fan base? It's kind of been a tumultuous couple of years. What are you trying to tell this fan base about why they should be here?
Yeah, I just think we have a great university, first of all, in this community. And I think, the more support that we can generate from a standpoint of our coaching staff, as for our football program, not just football, you look at all our sports, we have something really special to sell here at Kennesaw State. And just try to get the fans out, right? Try to make sure that they understand that, we want to put a great brand. We're in here working hard, trying to make sure we do a great job of embracing the community. We want to be involved in the community. We want to recruit this area more than anything else, and just make sure we keep some of these really good players close to home.
And then,
I just got one for each guy. Overall, what's the part of your game that you feel fits best here at Kennesaw, and how can this team help you be better?
The space we play with, I think it's when I'm at my best, it's when I can see the field and see what's going on. And I think when we play with space, like in the RPO game, it's easy for me to see what we got going on. And even in the pass game, like when the things open up, see them really wide. And I think efficiency is what I try to pride myself on. And I think that this offense really fits that.
And then, obviously, in the spring game, everybody's excited about the cool scores they get to see here and there. But what were you seeing down in the trenches, and how is this defense going to be different than anything we've seen?
Mattioli did a really great job of implementing like a violent vertical defense, and I think that's something that I want to be a part of. So that's exactly it.
I just add on to that. I think about the defense, and then how do you feel like as a defense did y'all handle this spring, and how was spring for you guys?
Overall, spring's been really good. We had a lot of opportunities, and I think we've been making the best of those. Overall, yeah.
Anything else for the guys? All right, thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate it.